You ever feel like you just don't have enough time for everything? You may not be doing YouTube, but you're still trying to balance your work life and your home life and your family life and all the things that need to be done around your home. And you have a project or 15 like I do. And there's just always something demanding your time. And if you land where I do at the end of all of that, you just want to go sit in a corner and suck your thumb. I bet you can relate to that. Well, that's today's subject in Talk About It Tuesday, dealing with a bit of burnout and how to stay motivated. Stick around. I'm Mike, and you're watching Mike. It seems like around here, the thing that suffers first is the shop, and we're going to be getting back to shop organization real soon. We've got this project for the Stitches Challenger, and we've got the Oakland torn down with a bad generator, and we've been going like gangbusters getting all those cab mounts and cab bracing done on the 39 Dodge pickup, and I really want to be putting that in a rocker panel in the Duster. Plus, one of the minis is still broke down, and well, that's life. And we're not even going to talk about all the other stuff like trying to keep up with cooking daily meals, and keeping the lawn mowed right now is absolutely ridiculous. And well, I'm whining. I know it, but I know for a fact you can relate. I already said that, but I'll say it again. I know for a fact you can relate. That's why we preach the gospel of little bites here around the shop, because in spite of everything we have going on, and it's a lot, I can still find time to take a little bite out of something and take another little bite out of something and always be moving forward. Now, as a YouTuber, and some of you guys are, I know that, I'm going to take a little aside for you who do that. I filmed 25 episodes in 30 days in July, plus dealing with chaotic schedule. Yeah, it's been a lot, but I need that margin, and I made the time to make that happen. That's the key there, is making the time.
We have a time machine. I can make time.
But it is amazing when you make it a priority what you can accomplish. Some days it's the shop is a priority, and when that thing is done, I'll go sit on the lawnmower for a few hours. Some days it's I need to go sit on the lawnmower for a few hours, and when it's done, I get to go work in the shop for an hour or 20 minutes. Or maybe I'll take some time like this and film a Talk About It Tuesday. But every day I try to look at what I can do to move a project, doesn't matter which one, a project further forward, Father. Even as far as shop organization, when I come out here, I've been tripping over stuff. It's a wreck. But every time I come out, I'll try to get one thing and just put it away on my way through to do something else. Lately, it's been because I've been working in the warehouse. That's another thing I've been doing, is trying to get the ceiling up in the warehouse. Every time I go up there, I try to take one little thing back up into the warehouse where it belongs. I got a set of Duster control arms down here that we're not going to be using because we're using the Duster brakes on the Challenger, which we've talked about. Those Duster control arms need to be wired together with a tag and put upstairs on the shelf. That's one bite I can do. And here's the thing. If there's 100 things in your shop or in your garage or in your basement that need to be dealt with, don't look at the 100 things. Look at the one thing. What can you do right now that'll take you 30 seconds or a minute or 5, and just get that done, and forget about everything else and just focus on that one thing. Sunday was a day of exasperation because I intended to focus on some projects here in the shop. I did get to spend a few hours on Saturday working on the 39, but I had some projects I needed to get done in the shop here, including putting new struts on the 2014 Mini Cooper. I wanted to share that with you in an episode, or add it to the one episode that's been in the can for quite a while that I haven't finished. But I needed to fix the lawnmower because the mower deck quit working. I know you're going to relate to this. But the lawnmower was a wreck because I've been mowing some grass that hasn't been mowed yet this year, and it literally is hip high. And so it was full, the deck was filthy, and it was just full of dust and dirt. You know how they get. So I thought, I'm going to power wash that. So I got out the power washer, brand new power washer. I've used it twice since we bought it. Wouldn't start. So that created a rabbit hole that I had to spend an hour fixing the power washer so I could power wash the lawnmower so I could fix the lawnmower. I know you get it. Can you relate? Yeah, I know you can, because it just seems like it's a series of sequences like that that take something that should have taken a half an hour or an hour and turn it into a freaking half a day plus project. This is the last day of June right now that I'm filming this, and you're going to see this on the first Tuesday in August. So that's how far out I've been able to stretch it. And here's where my headspace was on Sunday. And you can apply this to your own circumstance. You can apply this to whatever you're dealing with. Mine happens to be getting projects done and doing YouTube, but if you don't do YouTube, the principles of what I'm going to say still apply. And that is, I did accomplish quite a bit, and it was important things. And I decided to sit under a shade tree in my lawn chair with my wife. She wasn't in the same lawn chair, but we sat there and we had a wonderful conversation. And I said, you know what? It's Sunday. It's a Sabbath. I don't have to work 7 days a week, but it helps. But you know what? I'm just going to kick back the rest of the day and have some fun. And we grilled some hamburgers and just relaxed for the rest of the day. And I actually felt a little bit refreshed by the end of the day and felt like I had a little perspective. I took a bite out of rest. Burnouts aren't just what you do with the back tires on your hot rod or your motorcycle. Burnouts can be something you do by just pushing too hard. And even if you're using the little bite approach, you can still push too hard. So ask yourself the question, when's enough? Enough. Sometimes you got to slam on the brakes without slamming the gas pedal down, because that causes burnout. It really does. In a good way and in a bad way. I know sometimes we need headspace from things. That was Sunday afternoon, sitting out in a shade, enjoying the company of my beautiful wife, and just sitting there in the wonderful, not super hot weather, enjoying just the creation and the beauty and the quiet of where we live and the peace of nature. But I'm going to stick my butt in here. Sometimes when I'm resting and relaxing, it can be just as much fun to do the research. The 39 pickup is an AI coached product, and not really coached, but I'm using AI as a build tool as part of it to save myself a ton of time doing research. And through AI, through ChatGPT, we have determined that an S10 pickup is the frame and axles are going to be the best way to go on that. It's actually a common thing I've looked up since, and there's a bunch of people that have actually built 39 half-ton pickups on S10 Chevrolet chassis. We're going to put a 318 with a 904, I think, transmission behind it. We're either going to use a GM 10 bolt, or we might even use a Dodge 7 1/4. We'll see. Something with just a 270 gear. I don't want much gear in that. It's not a race truck. I want to get 20 plus miles to the gallon with it. And I had fun, and I've had fun researching. I was looking for a seat idea, and I know I have upstairs a beautiful, beautiful, like brand new seat out of a four-door Valiant, 76 four-door Valiant that I had that only had like 30,000 on it. It was parked for some reason. It's upstairs. I thought, I wonder if that seat will work in that 39, and using ChatGPT, we found out, no, it's too wide. But an S10 bench seat is perfect. So working, researching, thinking, I spent a lot of time recently doing a bunch of maths on the 413, 426 build. Sometimes it's designing thumbnails for the channel. Sometimes it's coming up with SEO stuff. Sometimes it's things that I can do to grow the channel that are important to continue what we need to do to move projects forward. Sometimes just sitting on the toilet with a JEGS catalog and looking at parts can be fun. So there's always something you can do to keep the hobby fresh in your mind, as long as you're not overwhelming yourself. I suppose mentioning sitting on the toilet with a JEGS catalog was a crappy thing to say, and I apologize, but I know for a fact we all do it. So there you go. And if you run out of toilet paper, never mind. Is this just a random bunch of thoughts? Not really. Like I said, I've been dealing with some burnout quite a bit and feeling overwhelmed quite a bit. And I just have to go back and say, what's one little thing that I can do, because one little accomplishment builds energy to accomplish something else. And sometimes it builds energy to sit under a shade tree and do nothing, and that's good too. So don't be discouraged if you're feeling overwhelmed with everything that's going on in life. Remember, the projects are here to have fun and be an escape from the stress and pressure of the world. Don't turn them into stress and pressure for yourself, even if you're doing YouTube with it. Make sure you're having fun, because the motto around here is make it safe, make it done. And the most important part is go have fun. Well, it's not the most important thing around here, but it's close. But you know what the most important thing is. Don't forget. Rah!